So Andy and Bill have a great business. They've had several $1 million days. They're $1 million day, let's go. So they're gonna share with y'all their secrets to the $1 million day.
You guys ready?
Oh, you know, let me do this. One of y'all take the catch box.
So Andy's gonna break it down from a zoomed out perspective, and I'm gonna give you literal hacks that you can immediately implement, like calendar invite hacks and things that will double your show up rate. So Andy will take it away.
Yeah, all right. So the biggest thing that I had $1 million. So okay, I did in May I did $1,041, and then in July I did $700 something, and then I did a $500,000 day, and then I did a tiny day, which is like $375, and then Bill and I teamed up and we did over $2 million in one day, right? So the biggest thing that I've leaned on this entire time is something that Myron's always talked about, and that's where he says a prepared man is better. No, wait, a prepared message is better than a prepared man. Prepared man is better than a prepared message. Yeah. Okay. So basically, what that means is that I can go into any event and I know my lines, right? And the reason that I know my lines is because I've got over 1,000 YouTube videos on YouTube, right? So what that allowed me to do is that allowed me to get on camera, and that allowed me to tell stories and tell stories and tell stories and tell stories and figure out exactly what are the problems and what are the false beliefs. So I knew my clients really well, right? So when you do that, it's not that hard to get them in a room. It's not that hard to understand what are their objections going to be. It's not that hard to basically have content that you know is going to wow this particular audience because it's already wowed all these other people, right? And it also equally important, it allows you to know which content you don't like, right? Because you have to figure out what do people like, what do people not like, right? So that's one of the biggest things that I did. But my $1 million day wasn't really a $1 million day. I collected the money in a day, but it was something that I've been building up to for 3 years. Because I in 2018, I think, is when I did my first video. It's when I started creating my Facebook group. It's when I started building my email list. It's when I started making a name for myself in the legal industry. And people actually lawyers started knowing who I was. So I think that what happened on my first $1 million day in May is that basically I was kind of at the oversubscribed point where basically I had a lot of people that were ready to buy from me. I was able to get all those people into one challenge, and then I basically had good content that I've been preparing for already, and I was able to run that content using a format that Myron taught us. And then Myron came on. I took advantage of the repitch and the pre-pitch and all that type of stuff, and it worked really well. But the thing that really prepared me for that is the fact that I had the email list that I could go to. Because our ads don't really, and Bill and I, we have an email list combined of almost 60,000 people now. But it didn't start that way. Actually, I was talking to Mark about this earlier, is that the hardest part about this entire game is the first 4 months when you're just starting and having the faith that it's actually gonna work. Because I was recording videos every single day, I was creating content, I was doing all this stuff, and I wasn't getting anything back. And it's because you have to go through that initial phase of getting started, right? So there's so many times where it's just, you have to get started. That's the biggest thing. And then once you get past that, then you can start going more and start building your list and start creating content and start building information with your audience, right? So I think that the content that I've created on a regular basis, I don't think you have to have 1,000 YouTube videos like I have, but I think you have to create that prolific content that when people get in a room with you, they already feel like they know, like, and trust you. I did an event in October. There's probably about 50 lawyers in the room. I'd never met a single one of them. And I said, let me ask you a question. Who here has never met me before, but you feel like you've known me your entire life? Raise your hand. And every single hand went up in the room. And the reason that is because I had so much content. So that's something that I think Myron talks about, maybe not enough, because it's such an important part of how I'm able to close, how Bill is able to close, because people come into it knowing who we are already. And you can do that with your content beforehand, and you can do that with basically all your indoctrination content. So that's really the biggest thing, is that it's a $1 million day, but really it's everything I've done for 3 years has led up to that $1 million day. And then once you have that in place, then you just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. I mean, like, we added up. What are we at? Between the two of us, how much have we done this year on live events? Was it over 6.8 million? Okay, so between the two of us, we've done 8.1 million in virtual events, and in 2021, yeah, and that's because of all this. It's basically, you know, everything we've done that's led up to this, and then the virtual event is the thing that where it all comes together, right? So content is key. That's such a big thing. And then another big hack that I've had that really has helped me this year is every single one of my events that I've done has been within 2 weeks of one of these masterminds. So yeah, so that's a huge takeaway, because, and I said this at the last one, you're never more fired up than you are when you're sitting in this room and like ready to go. You know what I mean? So I just kind of use that to my advantage. What I'm going to do is basically, I'm going to use this event as kind of like my pregame for my actual event. You know what I mean? So that's been a huge hack for me also. So I don't think I've done I think I did one event where it wasn't within a week of this mastermind, and that's been massive for me, right? Another thing that we're going to do is, and this is the last thing I'm going to let Bill talk, having all this content has allowed me to transition seamlessly to in-person events. And 2022, we're going to use these things in probably 70, like we're going to open up an in-person event center in Tampa, and we're going to start having events with anywhere from 75 to 150 people on it. So the way that we're going to get people there is I created something called the Andrew Stickel Challenge. And the story behind this is somebody messaged me a couple months ago, an immigration attorney, and he's like, hey, just want to let you know, I took the Andy Stickel Challenge and I took my firm up to 7 figures in 1 year. He was at 6 figures and he took it up to 7 figures. And he did it in just like 60 days. I was like, that's really cool, but what's the Andy Stickel Challenge? I was like, I've never created that. He's like, well, what I did is I went on your YouTube channel and I found all the videos that looked like they could help me, and I organized them into a course, right? And then I took that course and I went through every single day and I implemented, and within 60 days, my firm was at a 7-figure run rate, right? And I was like, that's the coolest story I've ever heard. So I created something called the Andy Stickel Challenge, and it's those videos. So now what I do is I sell it to $197. We just sold it on Black Friday. We sold a bunch of them. And it's a spiral bound book, right? So every day you turn the page. And the reason I have a spiral bound is because I want them to leave it on their desk, right? So it's every day, you scan the QR code, you implement that day's video, and then you go on with your day. And you turn the page, next day, scan the QR code, implement the video, next day. And you leave it on their desk, and every page has a big picture of me smiling on it, so they see my face, and I'm on their page, their desk every single day. And then at the end of it, it culminates in a live event called the Fire Up Your Firm event. And basically, it's going to be me doing an in-person challenge for 2 days. And then after going through 60 days of my videos, and then seeing me stand up here and talk for 2 days, I dare them not to buy, right? and I know it's going to work, you know. So my point is that once you have that content, you can start creating other products out of that content that then indoctrinate them more and indoctrinate them more and indoctrinate them more. Because, you know, the more time somebody spends with you, it's like Myron says, you know, if you have 5 days versus 3 days, 5 days is always going to win. If you have 7 days versus 5 days, 7 days is always going to win. That's why when we do our VIP, our challenge, 80% of the people who buy are VIPs. It's because they get an extra day every single day, you know, so it's really cool. So extra hour every single day. Yeah, they get an extra hour every single day. And actually, we did a surprise pop-up bonus VIP session afterwards every day, also on our $2 million day. So they actually got an hour before and an hour after. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, but I mean, bottom line is that really what it comes down to is if you just do it, it works. If you do the work works. Build your list up and just keep creating content. And even if you feel like it's not working, just keep going, because eventually it will work. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bill, who's got some tips and tricks here. I'm going to go zoomed in. Round of applause for Andy. There you go. You want this?
Smartest marketer I know right here. Another round of applause for Andy. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to get a little more tactical. When people, I mean, we don't ever teach this. This is when people ask, how did we build an 8-figure business in 4 years and 35 full-time employees? This is it. Like, this is it. We lost our entire sales team and still doubled our revenues last year. So, because we have the events. So this is it. So I'm going to start kind of with the strategies portion of it. So I think a lot about like the framing and the strategy of our events. Can everyone hear me well? Good. So Andy mentioned one thing that I'll kind of double down on. So I run a weekly webinar talk show. Oh, see, Neo's got my back. Round of applause for Neo. Let's go, man. So I run a weekly webinar talk show, and this was a mistake. And I learned it from Myron when he said, train people to buy the way you sell. So I sell via webinar. So I run a weekly webinar talk show. That's where we interview all of our big thought leaders on our show. That gets repurposed into YouTube, but it also trains people to buy the way we sell, which is via webinar when we do our challenges and our summits. The first big content takeaway is movement exceeds content. Okay? The movement you're creating with your event is more important than the content. So every successful event we've ever had, I was telling Eli saw this, I'll actually name the movement for every single event. So we held an event where we signed up 30 coaching clients for $24K in 3 hours. When I told Myron this, he was like, what, 3 hours? And I made so many mistakes, it was crazy, and now we're making a lot more sales since we've learned from Myron. But I got one thing right, and it was the identity thing. It was the movement thing. So we held this event at the middle of the year, so I called it the next half of 2021 challenge. So congratulations everyone for signing up for this webinar. And over the next 3 days, you're gonna be a part of something super special, and it's called the NH21 movement. Give a round of applause for NH21 movement, let's go! Right, and everyone's like, what? What's the NH21 movement? I was like, who here wants to know what the NH21 movement is, right? They're like, me. I was like, next half of 2021 movement. This event was held at the end of June because it's your next half of 2021. It's your chance to turn around 2021, right? And over these 3 days, you're going to learn how to do that. So I've learned a lot of success from our events has come from theming the event tied into where you're at in the year. So if you're at the end of the year, it's the new chapter, it's the new you 2022 boot camp, which is our boot camp with Damon John on Thursday. We theme our events based on where we're at in the year. Fresh start in the beginning of the year, new chapter in the middle of the year, and new you, like an identity shift at the end of the year. Huge impact on registrant numbers. The next one is theme your events based on customer needs, not what you're interested in. So Andy is brilliant. He runs a list on our data deep dive on our Facebook groups when we run these events. And he'll literally just create an Excel spreadsheet. His marketing team will do this. And he'll just create an Excel spreadsheet of what everyone's commenting the most in the Facebook group. So we just title our next event whatever the most popular words are that our people are using in the Facebook group. It's not about what we're interested in. It's about what our clients are interested in, right? Next one is embedded social proof in the theme of your event. This is that's funny, social proof, okay? Embedded social proof in the theme of your event. Did everyone catch that? I'll explain. Embedded social proof in the theme of your event. So for example, we held this event called the Fast Growth Firm Challenge. And in the subtext of the event, it said how 9 lawyers doubled their revenues in under 12 months. Who were those 9 lawyers? They're all in our coaching program. So literally the entire theme of the event was based on a focal point of social proof of the people who had bought our product. So the whole recurring theme, the testimonials, everything was revolving around the people who had bought our product. So we didn't have to sell them. Daily open loops. Every single day, there needs to be an open loop, right? So every day, give people a sense of non-completion. Like there's something they didn't learn in that first day that they have to show up for day 2 on. So just, you can yell at me if I need to slow down because I'm going down the list. Just go, hey, slow down. All right. Next one is tie movement into it. This is crazy. I learned this from Brendan Burchard. Get people within the first 45 minutes of your event to move physically.
do some weird, like, I do this, oops, sorry about that. I do this thing with Brendan Burchard taught me, where we literally bend over. I have people on the event bend over. All right, if you want to learn as much as you possibly want to learn from this event, we got to get moving. We got to get moving. Let's get moving, right? So we'll get everyone to, can you guys still hear me? We'll get everyone like slap their back and do like Tai Chi or whatever it's called. And like, we'll get people to like, so imagine lawyers doing this. Like, it's the funniest thing ever. They're like, oh my God, they're all laughing. It's so funny, but it gets them moving, right? So within 45 minutes, if you can have that embedded command where people are actually getting up and moving, it gets their blood flowing. They're not hunched over in front of their computer. And I've seen people do this before the pitch. I actually had a competitor of ours in a live event hand out energy drinks right before the pitch. Everyone went to the bathroom, and you appear back at your desk, and there were energy drinks on everyone's, and then they hand out the order forms. It was crazy. They sold $12 million at that event. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it like 2 days of a 3-day event. Show up rate beliefs. Okay, I never, ever, ever trust show up rate. I go to bed at night thinking that all of my show up rate numbers from the past are trash. No one's going to show up. So write this down. This is the words that go through my head whenever I'm thinking about show up rate. If someone had to cancel a family dinner with their long lost mom that they haven't seen for 15 years, what would the theme of the event have to be for them to cancel a pre-scheduled dinner with a mom, with their long lost mom they haven't seen for 15 years? That level of severity, right? Their time is the biggest sale. No matter what you charge for a ticket, it has nothing to do with the cost of the ticket. It has to do with their time. You're asking them for 5 days of time. Are you crazy? Think about you spending 5 days of your time on something. The sale is not the ticket sale. The sale is, bless you, the sale is getting them to show up, right? So you have to be worried about getting people to show up. 3-year prescription. This completely revolutionized our coaching program. We got a 95% year 2 renewal rate on our coaching program, which I focus on year 2, 3, and 4. I don't just want year 1 revenue. I want year 2 through 5 revenue. So we rolled out this thing called a 3-year prescription for our coaching program, and we do it right at the value stack. We're like, listen, this is a 3-year program. Year 1's the ROAP year. ROAP stands for roll out and practice. So if any of you are looking to get, transform your entire life in the first year with everything that there's some people do that. You've seen examples of some. Chances are that's not going to happen for you, though. So don't join if you're looking to do it for 1 year. Join if you're looking to do it for 3 years minimum, right? And I explained to them how we do our renewal process, and that in 12 months from today, you are going to be asked to renew with us. And my job is to make sure that you renew with us, right? So I'm completely transparent with that. And then all of our client experience processes, they ask that one question every 3 months. Are we doing things that are lining up to, at the end of your 12 months with us, you are going to renew? They ask that question on every 3 months, once every 3 months on their quarterly debrief. Okay, this is the part where I'm going to go through like very quick bullet points. This took a ton of, we did 200 webinars last year, this is all the top hacks I've learned from them. And then I'll leave it off with one big principle, and then we'll all give Neo another round of applause. Okay, so number 1, if there was one thing, like this is it, like screw everything I said. Calendar invite marketing. This is it. I mean, this is it. I learned it from Jason Fladlin, who really helped me in the early days. And he taught me that if you just add everyone to a calendar invite that registered for your event and learn how to use updating the name of your calendar invite strategically 15 minutes before your event goes live, notifying all calendar invite recipients, it's your best email marketing ever, because it will never go into the spam box. The G Suite does not go into the spam box.
So Grant Cardone does this with his team. He'll add people who are hot buyers from his last 9 months of events, and he'll automatically add them to a calendar invite without them signing up. I mean, that's the far extreme of it. I would not recommend doing that. But you can use strategically calendar invites better for the people who have actually signed up for your event. Number 2, guys, if you're doing a high ticket offer, you should not be getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people signing up. You should be getting like 15 to 30 people signing up. And if you're getting a deposit from them, right, you can send a personalized 30-second video to every single person who leaves a deposit. It will increase your deposit to contract signature rate. The speed at which people sign contracts doubled for us when we did this. So I'll get a batch of everyone that signed up. Hey, it's Bill, I saw you signed up, super excited to have you in the program, and I'll individually text them, right, with a direct link to the PandaDoc link, right? It literally took us, we had 33 people buy our 72K offer within the days of the event, and 31 of them had signed 12-month 72K contracts within 2 days, just using that strategy. PandaDoc link is sent in the text along with the video. Number 3, shipped workbooks. We went all out with this last event. We did printed shipped workbooks, okay? So we created themed workbooks that got shipped to every single person who registered for the event, the VIPs. They got printed workbooks shipped to their doorstep before the event took place with the agenda of the 5 days. That worked really well. Okay, number 4, gamification system. We do a points system for our events. Who here wants to win stacks of cash? So we have $10,000 stacks of cash that we'll pull out for the events. We'll wave them in front of the camera. Who here wants to win some cash? Who wants to learn how to win some cash throughout the event as you're learning? Yes? Right? And here's how you can win the cash. All you got to do is use the chat, press the space bar and unmute when we say for you to unmute. And most importantly, this is the key, you got to fill out our application and you'll get 3 times the points. And you got to attend our bonus session, which is 3 times the points. Our bonus session is when we pitch. We have an existing client bonus session, which is for upgrades, and we have a new client bonus session, which is for people who are not current clients. 60% of our purchasers were current clients during this event that upgraded on a big package, but we did a separate bonus session for them. Hey, you're already existing clients of ours, so you don't need the whole kit and caboodle. You already work with us. So let's go right into the meat and potatoes here. Here's what we're offering. Shorter value stack. You don't have to use a crazy long origin story, right? And right to the point, more to the point pitch because they already trust you. Then for the cold audience bonus session, which runs on Thursday and Friday, for people who have not yet clients of yours, that is where you can use a deeper origin story, like you don't know who we are type thing. So gamification system changed the game. We had a physical leaderboard of the people who were in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th through 10th in the event, and then we gave away a vibe board to the person who won. 2? Yeah, we gave away 2 vibe boards. Dang, that was not smart. Okay, sales team blitz. We set up an outsourced sales team to blitz people who had put in their contact info on the purchase page but didn't put their credit card in. So we had a team of 12 sales reps ready to call people who had put their info in but did not purchase. Hey, I just saw you put your information in on the order page. I saw your credit card didn't go through. Can I help you get that in before the spots run out? Right? So that right there, game changer, right? Game changer, huh? It's a 2-step order page. It's just a simple ClickFunnels page, and then we just export contacts. We have a Zapier integration. Tie bonuses, the contract signatures. This is a quick little tidbit. So tie the bonuses you're giving at your event to them signing the contract, not making the deposit. If you're going from a deposit to a contract signature, or to them wiring the money would be another way to look at it, right? So only tie your bonuses to them. So we had a lot of people, we had more people leave deposits than we had spots available. And we told people, listen, we've had 33 people put in their deposit. We're only allowing 30 spots though. So it's first come, first serve for you to get these bonuses. So here's the PandaDoc link. This needs to be done ASAP for you to get the $23,000 of Andy's bonuses. Bonus session pitches, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, the current client bonus session pitch. So we did 4 pitch sessions during this event. We did a Wednesday night pitch for current clients, Thursday night pitch for non-current clients, new clients, Friday night pitch for Friday clients, for new clients, and we did a Friday 2 p.m. pitch before the whole challenge took place. That was a second current client pitch. And we have people, when they fill out the application, they have to select which one of those 4 sessions they want access to. It's a ClickFunnels landing page where they have to select, am I current client? If it says yes, then they have 2 date times to choose from. If they are not a current client, they have 2 date times to choose from for their bonus sessions, or they can select a third option that says, I want access to both sessions. Game changer, because you would not imagine how many people just have stupid calendar mismatch. Like they were going out to dinner with their wife or something, and they couldn't attend your pitch, right? So you double the chance of the people who couldn't show up by doing 2 pitches per customer group. Flash sale sequences. When we're doing a 2-week promo sequence, we'll drop the price randomly. We just randomly will drop the price to $1 tickets for like a 48-hour window. We'll have all the ads pre-launched in Facebook ads. Click the button, boom, launch flash sale sequence. We'll get 50% of our registrants that way, and it doesn't impact our show-up rate. Contingent risk reversal. Absolutely changed the game. On a 72K offer, I only have 3 more, I promise. So on a 72K offer, contingent risk reversal changed the game. We had one event where we got 29 clients, like I said, in 3 hours. We only had 17 stick through. That's 12 of them opted out and requested their money back. That was when we did a 14-day trial to our coaching program, 100% money back, no strings attached. Then we said contingent risk reversal is if you show us proof that you set your goals for next quarter, you can get your money back. So there's something they have to do in order to qualify to get their money back. Brought our refund rate to 5% on the initial sign up on a 72K offer on $2 million in sales, which is really like 2 people, or I think it was like 1 or 2 people. Dual offer stack. This is something that Andy and I originally disagreed with. We have one big value stack, so we'll go for the big value stack. And we'll say, here's everything you get with the big value stack, all these bonuses and all this and all this and all this and all this and all this, and you really should, and this is the thing you should get, this is the bad, and I can't believe you wouldn't do it, but I understand some of you just can't, and it's so we put this together, but all the bonuses are tied here, and you should really but that's what we have this here too, but really you should go there, you know? And we get more sales when we do that. So we'll do a drop, kind of a drop, but it's one value stack. That's the key. It's not 2 separate offers. It's one big offer with a just getting started option with less bonuses tied to it. Yeah, and the last thing is partner with your biggest competitor, because Andy and I now have merged our companies together, and we thought we were competitors at one point, and now we're going to dominate the industry together, and super grateful for them, but just never look away from who seems like your biggest competitor, because they could end up becoming your business partner. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you.